the circuit that is almost built for racing. The Dutch Grand Prix circuit returns for the Formula Regional European Championship, not by Alpine, but presented to you by the FIA for 2026. And what a weekend this is going to be. Back for the Formula Regional European Championship, and it's overall just going to be a good week, and I'm certainly excited for this one. We're at the Dutch Grand Prix circuit, the home to racing, the home to the Formula 1 Grand Prix as well. We raced around the 2.647 miles, 4.259 kilometres. And of course, loads of different winners in the recent past at this circuit. Just got a name: Alan Prost, Nelson Piquet Jr., of course, a Formula E expert as well. Alan Jones back in 1979, so it just shows how long this circuit has been around. And then the three-time winner of this circuit, the home, Max Verstappen as well, 2021, 2022, and 2023. But since 2021, we've not raced here since 1985. This circuit is old, and it is very historic indeed. Of course, 2024 went the way of Max Verstappen as well, I would like to believe. 2025 went the way of Lando Norris. So it's been a crazy few years for these drivers, and it's absolutely amazing to see the Formula Regional European Championship here racing as well. So, if you missed out on the last three races for the Formula Regional European Championship, it was all done by Key Nakamura, all done by Rashid Al-Tahiri, and all done by Reno Franco. But it tells a completely different story. In the way of qualifying, it went the way of Key Nakamura in both sessions. So, very surprising. And Reno Franco won the way of a penalty. Or I think it was Rashid Al-Tahiri who was in the lead, but had a problem at the very end of the race, which gave Reno Franco the win within the last 2 laps of the race. So that's how Reno Franco got the win in race number 3. They'll be hoping to try and back that up this weekend. But qualifying, back to the normal format for the Formula Regional European Championship. Back to the 2-part qualifying format that we run as well. So you will only see 2 qualifying sessions like you did in Austria. But we only have 2 races to go by. Q1, of course, will set the grid for race 1. But we do the qualifying sessions in a little bit of a different way. Sort of like the Italian F4 Championship does it, but in the way of the top half of the championship go out in Group A, and the bottom half of the championship go out in Group B. Or it could be Group B, the top half, Group A, the bottom half. But I think we start off with Group A, and it is the bottom half of the championship. It's the odd numbers in the championship. So it's not top and bottom half. So it's the odd numbers in the championship, which of course Group A, it is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, so on. Group B, it is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, so on. In the championship. So it gives everybody sort of that chance in the in last rounds. How we did it was we just went half-half for groups, but now we go off championship. So just shows if you want to be in a good position in the race, you have to be in a good position, not only in the championship, but you have to be performing well as well. And the one person that has performed well so far in qualifying is Kei Nakamura, the Italian F4 Championship, probably one of the most successful people in car/kart racing in his career. He's been very, very successful indeed, and a man to watch out for, alongside the man of Freddie Slater, who was very quick as well. Now moves on to the FIA Formula 3 World Championship this year. So, can Kei Nakamura really back up that pace this weekend? That will be a big question that, of course, we will have to answer as well. So, we'll see what happens in the early phase of this weekend. At the moment, we're currently looking at the rookie of Thomas Stoltramanes in the Prema card car. The 15-minute timer has, of course, already gotten underway. Here is, though, Thomas Stoltramanes in the Prema car. We've got just over 15 minutes of qualifying to get ourselves underway. A big name that probably should have been up there, but wasn't up there, was Gabriel Gomez and struggled. And I think the best way to put it, he struggled in qualifying. Couldn't put the race together. Got to think back to race 1 or 2 where he genuinely did not have a good weekend. Genuinely did just not have a good weekend. And that showed with the overall pace he had. He actually got knocked out in race 1 on an unlucky sort of set of circumstances, must I call it, and has struggled ever since round 1. So that is definitely very unfortunate for him. So we've got a few new drivers coming in to this week, and we've got a rookie driver this weekend. We've got Stravern in the number 9 car this weekend. Here, so I haven't actually put that down. I don't think. No, I haven't. So it's not even on my list, which is I think from round 1. So we've got a rookie this weekend. We've got Stravern in the car. There is Matteo Gigardi. Currently now setting lap times in the late part of qualifying here, but there's going to be a few names that I mentioned. A big name as well, the Australian Alex Nenovich, who flipping heck probably should have won a race. Race 3 was probably his biggest chance to win a race. Let's be completely honest. Probably his biggest chance to win a race. And as I say that, Alex Nenovich goes to the top of the session, 131.3. There, the Australian driver, Keen Nakamura better though. Flipping heck, this man. What can I not say about him at this point? He's insane. The Japanese / British driver currently setting purple lap times at the moment and is about to go to the top of the session and does so. 1 minute 30.8. The Japanese / British driver goes to the top. Gabriel Gomez was at the top, but now Maximilian Popov up to position 3. That is a stonking lap time and beats the Brazilian driver Gabriel Gomez there by just over 600ths of a second. Olivieri at the moment setting purple sectors through the second sector. As now, look, he makes his run out of the Kummenbocht and making his run now down towards the line. What does Emmanuel Olivieri do? Can he go to the top? No, he cannot, but he's only 800ths off. Alex Nenovich improving through the first sector. 1 minute 30.9 there for Olivieri. We did see 29s in practice, so I'm guessing as these tyres continue to evolve, we will start to see the lap times drop. Alex Nenovich, though, improving through the first and second sector. And Keen Nakamura better, continuing to improve as well. Purple through the first sector as we speak. 6 minutes, 15 seconds to go. What can Alex Nenovich do as he makes his run to the line? Alex Nenovich, Keen Nakamura better, improving by nearly half a second. Reno Frontcock goes to the top, but might just be stopped in his tracks from Keen Nakamura better. 1 minute 30.7. Watch out for the Italian / Jamaican driver, Maximilian Popov, who currently sits in position 7 and looking to possibly go to the top of the session. If this pace continues, he certainly will. What does Keen Nakamura do? Maximilian Popov, he's there as well. Keen Nakamura goes to the top by 0.4 of a second. 1 minute 30.3. Very nicely done. Popov, what does he do? Goes to second by 0.3 of a second. 1 minute 30.6. A little bit off the pace, must I say. Yeah, definitely a little bit off the pace. Is there you see Keen Nakamura making his run through the fast left-hander on the circuit. But wow, what a first opening part to qualifying this has been. As we see Keen Nakamura now straddling the curb. Look at that right front suspension. Absolutely clobbering the curbs here. Another driver to watch out for, Alexander Abkazava, who won the first race in the generation of these cars back in the Formula Regional Middle Eastern Championship, or the Formula Regional Middle Eastern Trophy as well. It's Abkazava, of course, won the first race here. Watch out for him. He'll be in the second part of qualifying as well. So just keep an eye out for him in the next part of qualifying, should I say. Keep an eye out for him. K&B, Keen Nakamura at the moment continuing to make his way around the circuit. Just over 4.5 minutes to go. This is Reza Worthen making his run over the line and up towards position 7 now, just over 7/10 off the pace. Sorry, 4/10 off the pace. 1 minute 30.7 is so tight out there. Matteo Gigardi now goes up into position 2 and displaces Maximilian Popov from the front row of the grid. Stravern, the German driver, very successful in German karting and has made his way through here in the Formula Regional European Championship. Stravern now making his run up towards the fast part of the circuit. This is more or less the twiddly bits of the circuit. Turn 8, this is Marlow Bocht. Now, on through towards the back straight. Turn 10, through the Audi S, we call this. Flick left, flick right. This is 11 and 12. Then through onto Common Bocht. Of course, this is all Dutch naming. Stravern now making his run through onto Common Bocht. Then just about 5 seconds behind him is Alex Ninovich, the Rotor Motorsport team, looking for possibly a few wins this weekend. Hoping for a few wins as well. Stravern making his run towards the line. What can he do? 1 minute 31.0 up into position 11. What does Alex Ninovich do? Currently sitting P6 up towards position 2. 1 minute 30.5. Maximilian Popov improving through the first sector. Personal best. As we say that, car 60 goes up towards position. That is Thomas Dolce-Marnes. Sorry, up towards and into position 2. K&B, Kei Nakamura improving through the second sector and possibly on to go faster than anyone so far. What can K&B, Kei Nakamura do as he makes his run towards the line and crosses the line? It will be an improvement by nearly 1/10 of a second. 1 minute 30.1 and very nicely done there from K&B, Kei Nakamura. Maximilian Popov, the Jamaican Italian driver, 1 minute 30.5. Very nicely done to pop himself up into position 4. Dion Gauda up into position 4. Emmanuel Olivieri as well improving through the first and second sector. Personal best overall and possibly looking to pop himself further up the grid. What does Olivieri do as he makes his run towards the line? 1 minute 30.4 up into position 2. Kei Nakamura improving through the first sector. Stravern as well improving. Not so much through the second sector though. He's backed off. As we see there. Kei Nakamura improving for the first sector. As I was saying, this man is on fire. He's actually on fire this weekend. Purple through the first sector. I think I might be adding another pole position name to our list here. As here we look, Kei Nakamura not so much improving through the second sector. So those Pirellis starting now to feel the effects of a bit of wear in the late phase of this qualifying session. Definitely starting to feel the effects of a bit of wear. K&B now making his run through out of the Common Box and towards now the line. What does K&B do? Kei Nakamura as he makes his run towards the line and over slipstream and does not improve. 1 minute 30.1, 0.016 of a second. He actually got a tow from the car in front out of the Common Box, but just wasn't able to improve. Watch out for Andrea Dupe, who's improving through the first sector, and that was the slide. That was almost off the road. Emmanuel Olivieri sliding that car sideways towards the Audi S. Andrea Dupe now making his run towards the line. Is this any improvement for himself? No, it isn't. Stays position 10. What does Reno Francot do? Can Alex Ninovich improve? He's improving through the first sector. But so far throughout this session, we've seen the tyres fall off. Again, it's only really 20-degree track temperature. But as the session goes on, these tyres get better. But then they also have a drop-off phase at the end of the session. Watch out for Gabriel Gomez improving. Alex Ninovich and Thomas Dolce-Marnes improving as well. Checkered flag falls. And Reno Francot up into position 3 on home turf. On the second row of the grid for the moment. What does Alex Ninovich do as he makes his run towards the line? Position 6 does not improve the Australian driver. Stays position 6. Reza Worthen improving at the moment. Can he go anywhere? Yes, he can! Onto the front row of the grids. Sorry, that's Thomas Dolce-Marnes. What can Reza Worthen do? Up into position 8, but it's Reza Worthen. Thomas Dolce-Marnes. Very nicely done. up into position 2. At the moment, Albati is improving. Rahim Albati, the American driver for the G4 Racing team, kicking up a bit of dust. Now on the exit of the box, and we'll get a very, very, very slight toe from the car in front. One of the primers. Can he go anywhere further? Yes, he can. Up one spot. 131.0. Albati, though, stays position 14. You can see there. That's Kinaka Roberta not letting any sort of toe happen. One of the Prema cars off the road. My guess, there's a lot of Prema. Oh, that's not a Prema car. That looks to be of that. I can't tell who that is, but off the road there, and that's towards the Audi S. Quite interestingly, or that could be up towards as you make your run towards turn 3 on the exit of the Gahal bot. I really imagine. So, Kei Nakamura Berta tops this session as I viciously look for my pen in the first part of this session over Thomas Dolcemanes in position 2. So, at the moment, the time to beat 1 minute 30.9. 1 minute 30.136, sorry. Over Thomas Dolcemanes, Emmanuel Olivieri, Franco, Gauda, Nenovich, Popov, Swertham, Gomez, Matteo Gigardi, Madico, and Andrea Dup for the MS4 Racing team. And it's Rahim Albati, Andrea Kostic in position 15. So the one time to beat 1 minute 30.136. Whoever can beat that will grab pole position in late phase of the session. So, now the next lot of drivers will make their way out onto the circuit. Apologies for the mess that I've got at the moment. I've just finished F1 Academy. I've also just finished Italian F4. And my commentary desk at the moment is looking like an absolute pigsty. So, just trying to clean that up whilst we have the chance here. So, the cars from that last session now making their way back towards pit lane. And now we will see the second part of qualifying get underway, of which will be drivers like Jan Perozowski, we'll see Anya Frey, we will also see Yuki Sano, Alexander Abkazava, Kabir Anurag, Jules Russell, Zenuchi, we'll also see Marcus Seita, Rashid Al-Ahiri, who's a big name, Kai Damianani, along with Salim Hanna, Sebastian Weldon, and Giovanni Maschio. A few big names in this next session. So we'll see what happens. Just over 50 seconds to go. A lot of previous winners in this championship. Just think back, Freddie Slater, who's won here loads before. Of course, just a reminder of what happened last rounds. Kei Nakamura, one race won, went on to grab both pole positions, then went on to win race number. Then Rashid Al-Ahiri currently sits second in the championship. Reno Franco currently sits third. Currently won race 2, and then Reno Franco went on to win race number 3 as well. Previous winners, when you think back to Formula 1 drivers, you've got Alan Jones, Nelson Piquet, Alan Prost, Didler Peroni, and you've also got Rene Aronnax, Alan Prost, then Niki Lauda, and of course McLaren were ever so dominant. They still continue to be dominant, by the way. So, see how that runs for the competitors. As now, look, exiting the pit lane, the second part of qualifying, and the time to beat there, 1 minute 30.1. I've got it written down right here on my timesheets here, so see what that brings for the drivers and who will grab pole position. That will be the big question. As I said, a few big names in this next session. We've got drivers like Rashid Al-Ahiri, who certainly is definitely a title contender is definitely a contender for the championship. for 2026, and we'll see how that rolls for himself. So, just over 14 minutes of this session to go. Second part of qualifying gets underway. Next time out, of course, we will head off to the Monza circuit. The next time out, we head off to Spa, which of course will be this weekend coming. So it should be very interesting. We've got this weekend. I totally forgot about it. We've got the Formula Regional European Championship, which will be racing off at the Spa-Francorchamps circuit. We've also got the Australian F4 Championship here this weekend. So, should be very interesting indeed. So, the Australian F4 Championship coming up this weekend. Should be very fun. Should be very exciting. And we'll see what happens there. Of course, those drivers will be heading off to the Bend Motorsport Park, the Western layout there. So, the marshals there gearing themselves up, along with the competitors, as they put as much temperature through these Pirelli tyres as humanly possible. Keen Nakamura at the moment, the man to be stopped in terms of pole positions, and at the moment, the time to beat 1 minute 30.136. Fans at the moment lathering sunscreen. Is indeed the sun beating down on this Zandvoort circuit. Yes, you might think 21 degrees air temperature, not too much, but got a lot of UV on this Zandvoort circuit. The ADAC GT Masters this weekend here, DTM supporting the German Touring Car Championship, DTM as well. Also got the Porsche Carrera Cup Deutschland, Porsche Carrera Cup Germany, ADAC GT Masters, and the Formula Regional European Championship. So quite a packed weekend. A lot of GT cars, a lot of Porsches, a lot of F4/F3/ whatever you call these cars out on circuit. So very tight schedule this weekend, along with DTM, which is the main category that becomes priority this weekend. We are actually running a little bit behind schedule, about by 10-15 minutes here, so not much time to, as like this lady would, grab a coffee. Definitely got a coffee there as she tries to find her best vantage point to get a few snapshots of these Formula Regional European Championship cars, and of course heading off to the Spa-Francorchamps circuit next time out. I'm just trying to think what category could possibly be with the Formula Regional European Championship, or unless they could possibly be on their own at Spa next weekend. But I suppose we will wait and find out. Just over 10.5 minutes to go as the cars now make their way towards turn number 1. Lap times here, look, you would think to possibly be starting within the next lap or two, possibly within the next minute or two as well, as drivers continue to try and find a bit of tyre temperature here. This Miguel Acosta currently improving through the first sector. So a few drivers that are in this session: Marcus Seita, Munoz, we've got Giovanni Maschio, Acosta, Sebastian Weldon, Jules Russell, Al Moshri, Alexander Abkazava, who won the first race in this new chassis, Jem Porozowski, Newman Chi, and his Kai Damiani, Yuki Sano, Kabir Anamag, and of course Salim Hanna as well. So the 15 drivers that are in this session. We've got 33 drivers this weekend for the Formula Regional European Championship. 32 if there wasn't a rookie in the championship either. So we'll see how this runs. So this is Group B. Group numbers 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and so on in the championship will be heading out in this session. Just over 9.5 minutes to go. Giovanni Maschio crosses the line and does a 138.3 to open the timings. Jan Porozowski now goes up into P5, 139.3. What does Munoz do as he crosses the line? Will eventually go up to P5 at the moment currently sits P5. Marcus Sato improving. Munoz goes up at a second. Sato goes to the top with a 133.5, opening his account as the Singaporean driver of Kabir Anurag makes his run towards the Audi S's. Just before the Audi S's, of course, you've got turn 10, then a long back straight, before then heading on to the corners, of course, like Kumumbucht and the Audi S. Of course, we're currently looking at Kabir Anurag, who at the moment doesn't seem to be showing or lighting up the times. Watch out for Sebastian Weldon in this session as well to be a bit of a threat for pole position. Rashid Al-Bahari up into position 4. Miguel Acosta at the moment improving in purple through the second sector. What can he do as he makes his run towards the line? No slipstream. What does Acosta do? Jan Perezowski as well improving through the second sector. What can Acosta do as he makes his run now on the exit of the common box? Very fast right-hander, where a lot of the rubber gets laid down this weekend. And Acosta now makes his run towards the line. To the top he goes, 130.8 and 7/10 off the pace of our pole sitter, Freddie Slater, at the moment. Jen Perezowski now goes to the top with a 1 minute 30 points, with a 1 minute 30.7 by 1/10 of a second over Acosta. Jules Russell now 130.5. Salim Hanna, purple through the second sector. Sebastian Weldon improving through the first sector at the moment. Just over 7.5 minutes to go. Salim Hanna to the line, 130.6. Not good enough for pole position just yet. Time to beat, 1 minute 30.136. If you can beat that, you're on pole. Sebastian Weldon goes to the top of the session, 129.9. What a lap from the American sensation. Rashid Al-Daheri improving through the second sector. Can he go to the top? No, he cannot. But what a lap time from Sebastian Weldon. And tops the Japanese-American driver of Kei Nakamura Berta. Wow. And continues to improve. More rubber down from Group A. And wow, this circuit is lit up. Sebastian Weldon improving through the first sector again. Chi up in a second. Al-Daheri in third. Munoz, not so much improving. What can Weldon do? Approaching the second sector now. Salim Hanna improving. Improving through the second sector. Salim Hanna, the Jamaican driver. Weldon improving. This session's lighting up as we speak. Munoz up in a second. Can't find time. 30.1. And is 700ths off. Kei Nakamura Berta. Currently sitting third at the moment. Can Hanna go to the top? No, but definitely does beat off Kei Nakamura Berta. What can Weldon do? 30.1. He cannot improve. Weldon definitely has a shot for pole here. The next driver that could possibly improve here is Kai Darianani, but he's in 15th at the moment and does not improve from P15. Sebastian Weldon could probably just park this up here. You can just park this up and scrap the 1 minute 30.1. It's a 1 minute 29.985. The time to beat for pole position now. And again, I wasn't expecting track evolution to be a big part in this, but it was a very big part. And it took a big play as well. More rubber down from Group A. And it's played a big factor as we take a look at Yuki Sano. Making his run through the Audi S's and just dipping a wheel on the gravel there as he tries to find grip out there. Wow, 129.9. We did see a dip into the 29s in free practice, FP1 and FP2, plus, of course, collective testing on Thursday. One of the first cars out there this weekend. And now, when the track is a bit more rubbered in as well. So we've had nearly 4 practice sessions for the Formula Regional European Championship. We had collective testing, 1 and 2, 1 hour, and then we've had 2 45-minute free practice sessions. Well, sorry, 1 45-minute free practice session this morning at 7:45. For then qualifying sessions gone underway for Porsche Pro Cup Benelux, ADAC GT Masters, DTM. We've also had Porsche Pro Cup Germany as well, and now out here for the Formula Regional European Championship. And up next is Porsche Pro Cup Benelux for race number 1. Then, of course, followed by DTM and Porsche Pro Cup Germany. Then later on tonight, it will be the ADAC GT Masters, then followed by the Formula Regional European Championship to round out the day. So, big schedule, big day. Munoz improving through the first sector. Wow, the Frenchman, purple through the first sector, but can he keep that up through the second and third sector? No, he cannot, but he's on par with Sebastian Weldon through both sectors. The time to beat 129.985, just over 3.5 minutes to go. Miguel Acosta up in a position 6, 3/10 off the pace, 1 minute 30.3. What does Munoz do as he makes his run out of the bar and towards now, look, the final corner? What can Munoz do? Towards the line, Munoz! Third, no improvement. Can't jump himself to the front row of the grid. Just over 3 minutes to go. Alexander Abkazava in position 8, improving. We've got Kai Damiani out there improving, but doesn't seem to be looking to go anywhere. Alex Abkazava, what can he do? The first driver to win in this new chassis. Can he make any sort of dominance true this weekend? Alexander Abkazava making his run to the line. Up to P4. Alexander Abkazava, the Argentinian driver. This Sebastian Weldon. Sorry, Salim Hanna. Wow, way off the road and up the curb as well. As he just spats the car sideways and struggles for a bit of grip in the process. Just over 2.5 minutes to go in this session. Just over 2 minutes. Matteo Cairoli there is, of course, his helmet. A few photographers out there at the moment. That was Matteo Cairoli, his helmet. And again, supporting the DTM Championship. So, the final laps getting underway here for the Formula Regional European Championship. Qualifying part 1. We've got Q2 coming up after race 1, but Sebastian Weldon on his 4th lap in qualifying, 129.943. What a lap. What a lap. That's something you don't exactly see and don't expect to just pull out of the bag on their 4th lap. And I was expecting that time to be somewhat hard to beat, but Salim Hanna at the moment and Munoz have topped off Kia Nakamura down to 4th. Abkazava can't get close at the moment. He's done a 130.3. Final laps now get underway for qualifying. Will there be any improvement, or has the track hit its limits in terms of improvements? Drivers now cross the line. Got Marcus Sater and Al Moshri improving at the moment. Munoz is not improving for the first sector. That is, of course, for the moment. But we'll see what happens. As we'll see one driver cross or rise the crest of this Sandvault circuit. Salim Hanna, can he find any improvement? Abkazava's improving. Kai Damiani's improving. We've got Marcus Sater's improving, but not so much of the second sector. This here, look at Alexander Abkazava, 10 seconds off the second sector. See what he does through the second sector. And the tyres just seem to be dying by the second sector on their 7th consecutive lap after 2 or 3 cooldown laps. They just don't seem to be getting anywhere. And I don't think Abkazava is improving either. 1/10 off through the second sector. Sater, by the end of the lap, has found no time at all. So a little bit concerning there. Al Moshri stays 12th. And I think Sebastian Weldon might have just bagged himself a pole position. 129.943. The time to beat in the end. Very, very nicely done from the American driver. And nobody's improving. Nobody is improving for the moment. Sebastian Weldon, pole position, very nicely done.
10, which is all important where point scoring is concerned, but it looks like it's going the way of Sebastian Weldon. The Floridian is on top for MP Motorsports. And what a moment for the team on their return to the FIA Formula Regional European Championship and at their home track, the Dutch weekend here at Zandvoort. Looking ahead to race 1 of the weekend. What a performance. The sole 129 as the rest of the cars now cross the line. We now have confirmed that all 15 drivers here in Group B have successfully managed to complete the session. An incredible effort. Alexander Munoz finishing 3rd at the close of Group B session. But a great effort, certainly from Ken Nakamura Berta, achieving at least a front row start. He wasn't quite as quick, though, as Sebastian Weldon. Of course, it was Ken Nakamura Berta who laid down a 130.136 inside that first qualifying session. But Sebastian Weldon came along and blew it all away. The only driver to hit the 129s here in qualifying, here in the FIA Formula Regional European Championship for MP Motorsports. On their return to the championship, a stellar performance from the Floridian. Let's run you through the classification at the close of...
So, it's Sebastian Weldon over Salim Hanna and Alexander Munoz. Then it is Alexander Abkazava, Zenral Chi, Rashid Al-Dahera, Yuki Sano, Miguel Acosta, Jules Sell, Kabir Anurag, Jan Prozowski, Saga Al-Moshri, and of course, rounding out your top 12 in this session. So, soon to turn over the page in just a few moments' time, and I'll run you through that as I just try and pull up our times for the rest of the weekend. So we've got Kai Darian on, and of course, Giovanni Maschio. So, rest of the weekend, race 2, of course, tomorrow, race 1 from 2:40, and race number 2 a bit later on in the weekend, 4:40, with qualifying from 7:40 tomorrow. Race 2 Wednesday from 4:40, but catch you then tomorrow from 2:40 for race 1. Bye-bye.
See you then. Goodbye.